Good afternoon. Happy Thursday, Cast brothers and sisters. Fair warning, my kids are playing with bubbles on the back porch here, so we may very well be interrupted by their laughter, hopefully their laughter. But it's going to offer an interesting juxtaposition to the content of this video. So today I feel like I need to respond to something that's actually been passed to me by a Cast brother. Apparently there's a video going around on the internet right now about a pastor from Kentucky who somehow had a dream that the end of the world was coming. And I want to be very honest with you when I say I acknowledge that God does speak to many people, not just Catholics, that he does have a prophetic message often, and that oftentimes these messages are true. But my succinct opinion on this video is that to the Christian, that video is irrelevant. And by that I don't mean it's not true. Who knows, it may be. Despite the fact that in Matthew 25 we're told that we know not the day of the hour. It may be true, but it's irrelevant to the Christian. And here's what I mean by that. When it comes to the way that Christians live the faith, we acknowledge that we need to live like the Christ, love like the Christ, and maybe even die like the Christ. You know, one of the biggest problems that we have in our faith right now is people thinking they can have everything, suffer no pain, and still call themselves Christian. But that looks nothing like the life of the Christ, right? I thought this was very interesting. This sister, this nun wrote this. She said, the Christian should expect to be regularly crushed under the inexorable wheels of history until Jesus comes again. We are not here to be relevant, not here to be powerful, and not here to be understood. Our challenge is simply to remain faithful to the gospel, to love our enemies, and persevere in faith. That's what we're here to do as Christians. I think that the fear that we have sometimes, hey, beautiful Lulu, hey, I see your bubbles, sorry. I think the fear we have sometimes is the fear of losing something that beautiful. If I'm gonna love Jesus, if he comes again, if my life is demanded of me, then I may lose something very precious to me. And I acknowledge that, I hear that, but the things that are really scary for us to lose, we'll likely see them again. And even if we do see them again in heaven, they're gonna pale in comparison to the great love that Christ is pouring out onto us for all of eternity. So I'm just saying, I hear you. If it sounds scary, maybe it's a little bit scary, but to the Christian who lives it, to the Christian who prays daily a rosary, now and at the hour of my death. Remember, back in March, I started a video just like this. This isn't the first time we've thought about the end of our time. Remember, every single day, it's someone's last day. Someone's time has come every single day. Could be mine tonight, could be yours. So one more quote I want to leave us with that I think is comforting. This is Father Jose Maria Escriva, and he says, remember this and never forget it. Even if it should seem at all times that everything is collapsing, remember, nothing is collapsing at all, because God doesn't lose battles. The real question here is, what are you afraid of losing? That's why language like the end of the world is coming, even though this happens about every 2 years, that kind of language scares us. But the truth is somebody's world ends every day. And it's irrelevant to the person who knows Jesus, because he simply goes home, back to the garden where he's supposed to be anyway. So anyway, with all of the doomsday talk going around right now, with elections, with protests, with now videos of people seeing calendars, I'm not saying any of it isn't real. I'm not saying any of it isn't scary. I'm saying to the Christian, some of it is actually irrelevant. God love you. See you next Thursday.